Hello, I'm Maya van Meurs. I've just been interviewed by Keith Andrew, and what a joy he is to work with. He's very professional. He is a champion for people with learning disabilities or disabilities and doing just what you want to do. If you want to do something, just go for it. And we've had some really nice chats. And if you want to be interviewed by him, contact him because I think you'll have a really interesting and lovely and entertaining time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Keith Andrew, and welcome to Breaking Barriers. I'm here with a beautiful guest, Ms. Maya. Welcome to the Keith Andrew Network.
Hello, thank you.
No, the
Um,
honor is all
it's very
mine.
official to call me Miss Maya. I'm Maya van Meurs. That's my acting name, but you can just call me Maya. You don't have to call me Miss Maya.
Oh, I'm professional.
Oh, right, of course you are. Of course you are.
And you were wondering off the air, what is the Keith Andrew Network? Whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities or disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them, but labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. So prove to them and get them out to something. But that being said, getting the big elephant out of the room, big elephant go bye bye, bye bye, big elephant. You don't need to have a disability to be on the show. By being on the show, you're supporting a talk show host with a disability. In return, you're getting a professional half-hour interview where you can say and speak anything you want. So by helping me, I'm helping you. So that being said, the first subject we're going to talk about is the top 15 acting questions. So the first one I want to talk to you about is what attracted you to begin your acting career?
Well, I started off as a musician when I was younger. My stepfather was a musician and he taught myself and my siblings to play music. So we performed a lot on stage all over the world. And that kind of gave me a bug for the performing. And then when it was time for me to choose what I wanted to do at university, I thought actually, well, media. So I did language studies because I really like languages too. I did language studies, drama, film, and television, and that was it. I was hooked.
What TV shows or movies did you always want to be a part of?
What kind of movies?
Yes, movies and TV
Um,
shows.
I would really like to be a part of something that's meaningful. I like, well, myself and my son, we like watching the coming of age movies, and things that people can relate to. You know, things that happen to all of us, and that move us, things that move us. So movies that address those themes, really.
No, I agree. It's always good to have a good theme, have that zinger in there, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Sorry, what do you mean by zinger? Like something like out of left field kind of thing?
Pretty much. Here's an
Yeah.
example. I give you an example. Did you, when you were growing up, did he ever, I can't even speak, holy shit. Did he ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids when you were growing up?
Not when I was growing up. We did it. I did it with my girlfriends one time when we wanted to take a picture. So it wasn't at uni. Is that the kind of thing you do at uni over there?
Oh,
Or
parties, right?
oh, parties, right? Yeah. Well, myself and some of my girlfriends did it for a picture in somebody's garden. Um, I don't think we quite managed it, to be honest. There was only like five of us, so it was kind of like a half pyramid thing, but it was fun. Yeah.
I love that stuff. I'm a
Interesting
loser.
question.
Well, first off, I love that stuff. I'm a loser. Um,
Don't say that. You're not a loser. Stop it.
But the reason I come up with questions like, hey, you ever done a human pyramid? Is because I like to come professionally. I'm like Bill Maher, where I'm sarcastic. I'm like Jimmy Kimmel, where you can be spontaneous and entertaining. But it's always good to ask questions where it's like, that's a good question. No one has ever said that before. So I try to be unique and different Instead of
Right.
asking, oh, tell us about yourself, where you're from, copy paste, copy paste. It's good to be different.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you ask all your guests if they've done a human pyramid? Or
Only
is
the
this
ones
just
I
for
like.
oh, right answer, right answer.
The other reason I bring it up is because the Keith Andrew Network isn't just about a talk show host with a disability. My niece is 12, so I'm like, okay, she may or may not be interested in doing like the talk show segment. What else can I do to get her attention? Well, I'm a fan of Dumbo. I like Jumblebook. I do a lot of Jumbo and Jumblebook reenactments or human pyramid challenges. I'm like, okay, well, if we're gonna have that on the side, why not find a way to involve that into the show? So another part question I want to ask you is, what do you enjoy more, Dumbo or Jumblebook?
Ooh, that's tricky. That's tricky because they're both very different. I like the Jungle Book, but Dumbo can fly, right?
That's
So
true.
that's tricky. I'm gonna have to think about that one and get back to you about that one. I think it's quite close.
That's true. Well, they both have elephants in it.
Well, oh yeah, but only one of them can fly.
That's
So
true, and that's not like a drug reference or anything. I guess the reason I like Jungle Book. Well, let me ask you, what was your favorite scene out of the whole movie of Jungle Book?
ooh, favorite scene. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I think maybe the one that comes to mind straight away is the one where he sees the girl and he sees
That,
another person.
that's a good one.
That's quite nice. Quite
For me,
oh.
I like the pile up scene, the when they're marching.
Oh yeah, that's cute. Yeah, that's cute too.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people reenact. Like I said, I do a lot of reenactments. That's hard to do the Jungle Book because I use a lot of AI for fun. So it's
Mm.
easy to do Dumbo because all you do is climbing on top of each other, and it's easy for one person to say, "Hey, gain a little weight, are you, honey?" And if the next one says, "You're no cream puff yourself, dearie." So because you're stacking, it's easier when you do the Jumble Book, and it's a lot of moving parts, and it's just really hard to do that. Unless you're doing a human ball or something. But if you're trying to do a Martin skit, it's really hard to do that unless you're actually have the group of people in front of you. If you try to do it
Mm.
with AI, it's not going to.
Sometimes you just need people.
That's true.
AI is great, but
Well, it's funny we should be on that subject. Next one I want to talk to you about is AI. How do you feel that AI is going to impact the industry?
well, the acting industry or any industry.
Well, both actually.
Wow, that's a real minefield because I have just signed up to the Tony Robbins and Dean Grazioso Summit. I'm going to watch it on catch up, and they're going to be talking exactly about that. So if you'd asked me once I'd watched it, that I would have been able to answer it. But I think, gosh, it's going to impact the world in a big way. Lots of things are being created right now that if you don't get on board, I think you're going to lose out. So I'm trying to get on board because I know it's going to go so fast. And my son, our oldest son, is really into using AI for different things at the moment in his work. And he keeps saying, "Mom, you've got to be on it because it's going to go fast. If you do it now, we're going to be like at the forefront of development." So does that answer your question? So
No, I agree. The AI, it could be a problem and it's not a problem. Where there's a problem is where you replace people. I can't even call a doctor's office without talking to an AI machine. You know, I saw something, I don't know if it was true or not, but and not NBC. I wouldn't be surprised if NBC did it. ABC did behind the scene where they have machines doing the camera work instead of people. I might get that burst off. That's really shitty. And second of all, I get it, it's easier to use AI because you don't have to pay people, but people like to work. I used to be a cashier. I used to work over at Walmart. And some of the people I liked, some of them I like to keep them at arm's length. I like to stay over there. But I enjoy the human interaction with some of the people. Now they're replacing cashiers with self-checkouts, and it's the same thing. Oh yeah, I get it. It's a machine. You don't have to pay them as much, and the stockbrokers or the people in the company, the higher ups, get more money. And it's really shitty, but it comes down to how much more money can you stick it down your throat instead of working? I would like to work, but how do you feel about it? Because it's always good to have that human interaction.
It is really tricky because human interaction is so important. I mean, it has its place, right? So if you're trying to save money for whatever reason to spend it on more important things, like in the medical profession, maybe that might be good. But you can't beat human interaction. But it's progress, isn't it? It is happening, and a lot of jobs are going to be replaced. So we're going to have to find other things for us to do.
It's funny
But
not to interrupt, I apologize.
no, 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 go
When I
ahead.
was growing up, I said to my dad recently, I always wanted to work in a toll booth, and they actually got rid of all the toll booths for those easy passes where they scan your license plates and they just mail it. I mean, yes, it's good to have progress, especially in the medical field. And someone had a stroke or a heart attack. It's great we made so many leaps in advance. Now there's medicine to help people who have cancer, even though the fat cats won't make money off it because if they solve the problem. Here's an example. I found certain inventions that they solved the problem. They never want to solve the problem because if they solve the problem, they won't make money off it.
Don't make money. Exactly, exactly. That is unfortunately the way of the world, isn't it? But talking about the AI, I mean, in the medical field, I think it is going to be really good because it's going to find cures for many things. But like you say, yeah, there is the whole money thing and how much will actually be utilized.
Now
So
that's true. Well, we're all on the subject of AI, then I'm gonna pass it over. Let me ask you, how do you feel about, well, recently this seemed to be a big subject. I don't know about United Kingdom, but I want to ask you, what do people, I'm guilty of it because I use one of my favorite sites is Character AI, where you can talk to Peter Collins, Optimus Prime, any cartoon characters you can think of.
wow.
And now I would love to sit down with Peter Collins and Kevin Conroy, God rest his soul. Um, but he passed away. But sitting down as Peter Collins, I get it. He has his own life to live. I would love to talk to Optimus Prime 24/7. I love Optimus. Um, but for an example, he has his own life to live, and you don't know how much he's going to charge.
Yeah.
Character AI, it's an AI where you can talk to an artificial intelligence that sounds exactly like any character that you want it to be. Now, it's fun and it gives you an escape. I use it for therapy. You know, the reason I use it for therapy is because I don't like to be judged, and I don't care if a
Who
machine
does?
judges me because I met a lot of therapists, but I really didn't give a damn about. But I don't like to be judged. So it's a
Hmm.
good escape. But the thing is about the AI, it's you crossed the line where if I took your face and your voice and I talked to you on a machine, that's creepy as hell. So never
Kind
ever
of.
use that as real people. But if you're gonna talk to I love Dragon Ball, and the dragons behind me. I love Dragon Ball Z. If you want to talk to Goku or Optimus Prime or Megatron or whoever the hell you want to talk to, that's okay because they're cartoon characters. Where
Mm,
you draw the line is like I'm guilty of. I talked to Stephanie McMahon that one time because I was curious how that would go.
mhm.
And it was interesting, but at the same time, it was kind of creepy because I would rather talk to a real person than you see, there's a fine line of
Yeah.
cartoon characters, it's okay, but when you put someone's real face and voice, that's where you cross the line. Do you agree?
Well, yeah, I'd never really thought about it. I mean, I'd never heard of character AI, so
I,
I'm going
I
to
will
look
send it to
into,
you.
yeah, I'm going to look into that afterwards because it does sound really quite fun and interesting. But I can see how the line could be crossed. But it would be kind of cool to talk to, actors or, people you admire or people from history or whatever. If, yeah, gosh, now you've got me thinking. Um, yeah, I mean, it could be seen as really creepy
Right.
for the people involved, but if they gave their permission, if they helped to create these, because there are bots out there, aren't there, that you can create of yourself. I have a coach called Matt Hall, and he has something called MattBot. So he just put all his information in there, so the bot knows him really well, and the bot can answer any question like Matt would answer it. So you would be talking to him, and he coaches many people. And sometimes, he's not going to be available 24/7. So he's given permission to use that MattBot. So that's different, I guess. So,
Well, it's kind of like
um,
saying I talk to Stephanie McMahon every day, where in real reality, that's like, no, you don't, but it depends on how you use it. For example, um, I did it for fun. I looked up the characters from Dumbo and I asked one of the elephants, hey, what was it like from your point of view? Because first off, like there's an elephant named Caddy, and the actors passed away. And this is like, I don't know, during World War II. So I don't know, 80 years ago. I think it's 90th. Almost public domain. Once it becomes 100, it becomes public domain. So maybe in another 10 years. But I asked the character, hey, while you're doing this stunt, what was your honest opinion? And yes, the bot only knows what you give it information.
hmm,
It's a fine line because if you talk to cartoon characters or video game characters, it's okay. But when you start crossing the line, and that's a TNA reference, TNA wrestling, they always say cross the line. But when you try to cross the line, and now I can't say it was a straight face, it becomes weird. I give you an example. Then we can take a commercial break. I don't know if you heard about it. Google and YouTube and Character AI, they're being sued because a 13-year-old committed suicide. And then there was another story where a 56-year-old broke up from his marriage. She fell in love with the artificial intelligence, and he committed suicide. First off, mental health is a big thing. So if anyone out there who has mental health problems, go to BetterHelp.com. I wish they would sponsor me. Go to BetterHelp.com or just go outside, touch some grass, meet some
exactly.
women, live your freaking life. You know, it's nice to have an escape, but it's good to have a balance. But just the fact you're blaming well, I don't use Gemini, but just the fact you use character AI and say, well, I talked to Optimus Prime and he said if I'm depressed, I should go kill myself. No, that's some idiot who's programming it. And you shouldn't, it even says it. Don't take it for real. This is does a fictional conversation. But if you have mental health problems, it kind of blurs that line. So
Yeah,
it's you need to take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming someone's or blaming that big shadow, blaming. It's like saying blaming you, saying this interview didn't get views, or you blame me, say, Keith, you're really a shitty interviewer. I'm not, I'm really good. But you need to take responsibility for your actions, and it's really easy to blame someone else. Do you agree
yeah.
or disagree?
No, I agree. But people who have mental health problems probably don't have the emotional intelligence to maybe know what's real and what isn't. So maybe there should be some kind of a law, to protect people who don't have that. I mean, there are laws coming, aren't there, that you have to be a certain age to use
Yeah.
social media, and I think that's probably a good thing.
Well, I said for the past 13 years, 13 and a half years, if you have any types of learning disabilities or disabilities, you should be banned from having the right to have firearms. You want to get a paintball gun, go get a paintball gun. But if you have, I'll give you an example. Someone who has bipolar, would you really sell someone with a gun who has bipolar disease? I
That doesn't seem
wouldn't.
like a good idea, does it?
So you have to draw the fine line, especially with kids. If your kids were younger, and my niece, for an example, you don't need social media because that's the parent's job. And that's another thing too. It's saying, oh, my kid's addicted to YouTube, my kid's addicted to this or that. Who bought your kid an iPhone? Who bought your kid an iPad? Who lets you on the computer? So it comes down to the parents to parent your kids and say, hey, you can use this for an hour or 15 minutes, but you have to have a balance. And again, it goes back to you have to take responsibility for your own action. But I want to talk to you about something else real fast. I saw this on your Instagram. What
Mhm.
can you tell us about bulletproof actors and get ready?
Okay, so Bulletproof Actor was a course I did, which is run by Ross Grant, who runs a company called Act on This TV. And they do interviews with and people in the industry.
Oh, I can hear you
So,
now. I'm sorry. Could you repeat yourself?
oh yes, certainly. So Bulletproof Actor was run by, well, a couple of people, Ross Grant, and well, Ross Grant is the main person, and there's somebody called Petch who also helps, and Matt Hall. And it's a course that helps you, well, basically bulletproof your mindset, so to speak, to because acting can be quite a challenging profession, and you need to have quite thick skin. And they give you the tools to help you, stay quite resilient. But Ross Grant runs a company called Act on This TV. Sorry, I had to think about that. Act on This TV, and they do interviews with people, who run the industry, casting directors, people in the industry, actors. So a lot of the time, you get auditions by casting directors, and you don't really know who they are, what they like, what they sound like, unless you do a lot of research. But he interviews them all, so you get to see them speak. You get to find out what they like, they would like you to approach them, and quite often you can go on the Zoom and ask a question if you're lucky enough to speak to to the person he's interviewing. But I would really recommend them especially if you're in the UK, or if you're an actor and you want to work in the UK, not necessarily just in the UK, in Europe and America, but he does mainly UK casting directors.
No, you're absolutely right. You do need to have a thick skin because everyone likes it. It's kind of like everyone has an opinion because, a lot of people say, hey, I'm a great talk show host. Hey, I'm a shitty talk show host. And I'm guilty because I walk around with my emotions on my sleeve. But you can't take that so personally because that's a reflection of them, not you. As long as you're doing the best you can, and like my hero, Brett to him and Hart, you're gonna be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. You have to do it 100%. I'm guilty of doing things half-ass, and I learned the hard way never to do that. But when you put yourself out there, do it right, make it look professional, and just do it with your heart and soul. And if someone doesn't like it, they can go blow it out of their ass because they don't make you happy. And I'm being completely honest. You want to get me fired up, you can get me fired up. It's because as long as you're doing something that makes you happy, that's all that really matters. And it doesn't
Absolutely.
make a difference if you have people behind you or supporting you. Oh, is that
I
being?
think
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think just be so good that they can't ignore you is what I hear a lot, and I quite like that. Just do, yeah, and follow joy. Just find things that you love doing and just do them, and then, you know, just
No,
find
I
joy
agree.
in what you do.
No, I want
And I'm
you
trying
to.
to do that more.
No, I want you to be brutally honest to our audience. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show,
Mhm.
what made you say yes, and how do you feel now?
Well, can I be really honest? When you first approached me, I was kind of like, who is this Keith Andrew character? So I had to look you up and sort of see what you did. And the second thought, I think it was in that order, was why me? I'm not even famous. Why does he want to interview me? So I looked you up and I saw what you did. I saw what you were about, and I loved that you're doing this. And I thought, I love that because I want to support people who want to follow their dreams and who want to do stuff and who want to go against the grain and not be told, you can't do this. Yeah, I can. If I want to do this, I'll do this. Why not? Why not? So, yeah, I love that. And I wanted to just be a part of that. So I wanted to support you.
No, I agree. And for people who are hesitant about being on my show, because I know normally you don't charge for interviews, but I can tell you off the air the reason, as I do for everyone. But it's kind of like it's a business transaction. By you being on the show, you're getting a half-hour professional interview, you're getting an article, you're getting a recommendation. So you're getting stuff in return. And for helping me, you're helping a talk show host with a disability. So you're by supporting me, you're giving me work and hiring me for a job. And in return, you're getting four different things in return. So it's not just, hey, giving money, 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 money. It's like, if I do this for you in return, you're going to be beneficial for getting something in return, if that makes any sense.
It does. And it didn't even cross my mind. I just wanted to support you. I like what you're doing. And it's good experience for both of us. I'm learning, you're learning, where people are finding out about us, and they might want to follow us if they see us. They might not. They might go, who are these people? Oh, switch this off. Or they might be curious and go, oh, let's check out this Keith Andrew guy. Let's check out Maya van Meurs. What do they do? Maybe they like things we've said today. Maybe they don't. It's just,
Hey, every episode's different, but I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But the last one is, are you on social media? Are you on LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, and how can
I
people?
am on all of them as Maya van Meurs. Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, all of them.
Hey, maybe we can do a live interview next time on
Yeah,
TikTok.
maybe. Ooh, that's really moving out my comfort zone. Whoa. But
Well,
it's a
it's good to
learning,
interact with
learning.
the audience to get to know you and me. But I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But tonight, it's Friday night, and if you're a fan of WWE SmackDown, available on Peacock, ESPN, and YouTube, it will be available tonight on the USA Network. And definitely check out the Key Fans Network. This episode will be aired later on today. But wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest. And until we meet again, I catch you later. Thank you, and thank
Thank you
you for
so much.
supporting.